To care for someone or be cared for, you know how important caregivers are to the world and certainly to those around them. As we celebrate National Caregivers Month, I'm joined by caregiver coach Pat Bailey to talk about the incredible role that caregivers play. Good morning, welcome in.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Always happy to be in your presence. Look, this month is an opportunity, obviously, to recognize those unsung heroes, but it's also an opportunity to talk about the lack of resources. And I feel like you have a special connection, especially with your organization.
You know, one of the things about developing Finding New Tomorrows is the opportunity to give resources to caregivers, because most of them are operating in a lane without hope. You know, my mom died as a result of Alzheimer's after 7 years with this particular disease, and I was that corporate citizen. There was nothing for me in which to care for her. So where do people go to gather up resources on the steps necessary for caring for your loved one? What is the process? We help you understand the phases of caregiving relative to the stages of Alzheimer's. And it's a wonderful gift from God to have an opportunity to do this.
I do want to talk to you about that special connection that you have, because you just mentioned your organization, right?
Yes.
But talk about what it was like for you as a caregiver trying to find the resources as well when you were caring for your mom.
So I want to take everybody back to the 90s. I come down from Chicago. I came here for the position of a VP of marketing at Proline. So I've been in the hair care for my entire life. I was traveling 52 trips a year. How exactly am I to care for a senior loved one that is in the midst of Alzheimer's, incontinent, and you don't know the steps? I think the biggest aspect about all of it, you don't know what's coming. So one of the things in my side of the fence is that 7 years later, it was $100,000. My retirement. And leaning into that, how do we help families understand, do you have a plan in place to care for your loved one, and do you have a plan in place even to take care of yourself? Because I may have been a 40-something at that time, but now I'm able to share my wisdom and my guidance to deal with the legal, to deal with the financial, and to deal with the daily living aids.
I do want to talk about that a little bit. What are the long-term goals for Finding New Tomorrow when you talk about all these different folks that may need the resources that you provide? What are the long-term goals for the organization? Well,
one of the things that's important is that we've got 11 million people dealing with caregiving for the elderly, 3.4 million in Texas. The long-term goals for Finding New Tomorrows is to learn to teach you how to survive this process. By informing you, we're able to give you hope of where you feel right now hopeless. We're also funding respite care. That's significant. The opportunity to give someone an opportunity to just have self-care. I just keep leaning into that. We actually gave $1,000 away just this month for someone who needed to take a break, who cared for her mother and cared for her grandmother. Respite care is important. Resources, tips, and talks. We go in with corporations and we help corporations talk to their employees. We need to understand that if Alzheimer's is impacting 1 in 2 Black families right now, that means for every person that is an actual person with Alzheimer's as a caregiver in their life, how can we bring you all that information, the talks, the tips, and raise the monies to give back to these families? 1 in 6 seniors right now are living in poverty. That is incredible.
Tell us about the organization and how folks can find you, right? How they can find more information about it, whether or not they want to support it, which we hope they will, but also how can people get the resources from the organization? So
one of the things that's really easy, findingnewtomorrows.com. One of the things that will happen, you have an opportunity to do a couple things. Number one, you'll be able to lean into our programs that actually secure praying. We pray. As an ordained minister, we take great opportunity to actually share the love of God to get you through. We've got to carry you through that. You'll be able to download tips. You'll be able to see talks. You'll be able to understand the phases of caregiving, because if we know where we're going, if we understand that, we'll have a better sense of a plan on what to do next.
Okay, all that is available on that website that you just mentioned. Again, that is the National Caregiver Month, and we got to make sure that we show some love for those unsung heroes. Pat Bailey, thank you so much for joining us here in studio.
God bless you.
Thank you. Okay.